Every Monday morning, your body is undoing 5 days of progress, not because of what you ate on the weekend, not because you skipped the gym, because of when you slept. There is a biological phenomenon called social jet lag, and it is happening to approximately 87% of working adults every single week. It is not a willpower problem. It is not a discipline problem. It is a circadian biology problem, and it is one of the most well-documented and least talked about drivers of weight gain in modern life. 2 days of different sleep timing is enough to disrupt the hormonal rhythm that took 5 days to build. And by the time Monday morning arrives, your cortisol awakening response is misaligned, your insulin sensitivity is reduced, and your body is in a metabolic state that has nothing to do with what you ate or how much you exercised. This is why you gain weight on weekends, and it has nothing to do with the food. Your body has an internal clock, a biological timer located in a structure called the suprachiasmatic nucleus in the brain that regulates virtually every hormonal process in your body based on a 24-hour cycle: cortisol production, insulin sensitivity, growth hormone release, body temperature, melatonin, all of it timed to a rhythm that your body recalibrates daily using two primary signals: light and meal timing. During the week, most people maintain a relatively consistent rhythm, waking at roughly the same time, eating at roughly the same times, sleeping at roughly the same time. The biological clock synchronizes to this pattern over several days. Hormonal rhythms stabilize, insulin sensitivity improves, cortisol peaks appropriately in the morning. The system runs as designed. Then the weekend arrives. Saturday. The alarm does not go off. Sleep extends by 1, 2, sometimes 3 hours. The first meal shifts later. Light exposure shifts later. The biological clock receives completely different timing signals from the same body it was calibrating all week. Sunday, same pattern: sleep late, eat later, stay up later. A second day of recalibration in the opposite direction. By Monday morning, your internal clock is operating on a schedule that is 1 to 3 hours behind where it was on Friday. This is social jet lag, the physiological equivalent of flying from New York to London every weekend and back again every Monday, without ever leaving your house. Consequence: 1. The cortisol awakening response is misaligned. We covered the cortisol awakening response in episode 3. The CAR, the surge of cortisol that happens in the 30 minutes after waking, is your body's most powerful natural alarm clock. It sets the hormonal rhythm for the entire day. The CAR is calibrated to your habitual wake time. When you wake at 6:30 a.m. every weekday, your suprachiasmatic nucleus begins preparing the cortisol surge before the alarm goes off, anticipating the wake time based on recent pattern. By Friday, this anticipation is finely tuned. When you sleep until 9 a.m. on Saturday and 9:30 on Sunday, the biological clock shifts its expectations. By Monday, when the alarm forces a return to 6:30 a.m., the CAR fires at the wrong biological time. Your cortisol peaks when your body thinks it is still the middle of the night. The hormonal launch sequence for the day is disrupted before you have taken your first step out of bed. This is why Monday morning feels harder than Friday morning, even after sleeping more on the weekend. You are more rested but less hormonally aligned, and the downstream effects of that misalignment carry through the entire day. Consequence 2. Insulin sensitivity drops. Your insulin sensitivity follows a circadian rhythm. It is highest in the morning, when cortisol and other hormones prepare the body for the active metabolic demands of the day, and lowest in the evening. This rhythm is one of the reasons eating the same meal at 8 a.m. produces a different blood glucose response than eating it at 8 p.m. Social jet lag disrupts this rhythm. Research published in peer-reviewed journals shows that 2 days of sleep timing misalignment, consistent with a typical weekend sleep shift, reduces insulin sensitivity by approximately 15 to 20% on the following Monday and Tuesday. The same breakfast that your body processed efficiently on Friday produces a significantly higher blood glucose spike on Monday. Higher glucose spike means higher insulin response. Higher insulin means fat cells stay locked for longer, and the higher baseline insulin from the weekend disruption means your fat-burning window, the low insulin period between meals, is shorter and less complete throughout the entire week. This is the direct biological mechanism by which weekends make it harder to lose fat, not from the food consumed, but from the insulin environment created by the sleep timing shift. Here's the good news. Social jet lag is one of the most reversible hormonal disruptions in modern life, and fixing it requires not a single dietary change. Just 2 behavioral adjustments to the weekend. Adjustment 1. Keep your wake time within 1 hour of your weekday time. This single change, waking at 7:30 a.m. on weekends instead of 9:30 a.m., is the most powerful intervention for preventing social jet lag. You can go to bed later on Friday and Saturday. You can stay up later, but keeping the wake time consistent preserves the CAR timing, prevents the insulin sensitivity drop, and keeps Monday from being a metabolic reset day. The research is clear. A 1-hour weekend sleep shift produces minimal metabolic disruption. A 2 to 3 hour shift produces the full social jet lag cascade. The difference between 7 a.m. and 9 a.m. on Saturday morning is the difference between a Monday that builds on Friday's momentum and a Monday that starts from scratch. Adjustment 2. Keep your first meal within 1 hour of your weekday first meal. Meal timing is the second most powerful anchor for peripheral circadian clocks. Brunch at noon on Saturday, when breakfast is normally at 7:30 a.m., sends a 4.5-hour timing shift signal to your liver, gut, and fat tissue. Eating your first meal at 8:30 a.m. instead, even a smaller one, even just coffee and protein, keeps the peripheral clocks aligned with the central clock and prevents the full desynchronization that makes Monday metabolically difficult. That is it. 2 adjustments. Neither requires eating differently, neither requires skipping the weekend, neither requires discipline beyond a single alarm setting. Your biological clock does not care what day of the week it is, it only cares about the consistency of the signals it receives. Give it consistent signals on the weekend, and Monday stops being the enemy. If you want to understand the full science of how the cortisol awakening response works and why the first 90 minutes of your morning determine your hormonal rhythm for the entire day, that is episode 3 of Body Signals. Watch it next. Subscribe to Body Signals. Every week, one mechanism, explained the way it actually works,